ready here to get our chili going. I'm going to put a little olive oil in there, probably about a tablespoonful. There we go. Let that heat up. We're going to dump our onions in, let them start cooking. Oh, listen to them sizzle. Yeah. Stir these around a bit. We'll let them get translucent. Turn that down a bit more. It's one thing about the Camp Chef. This is 30,000 BTUs per burner. Most of them are like 75 to 100,000 BTU per burner. I wanted the lowest one I could get. This is what I found. And it does a really good job. Because you can turn it up, but it's hard to go way down if you don't have it. Now I put in here 3 medium onions. And this is an 8-quart stock pot. It calls for 3 minced garlic. Have this, it's already minced up. I'm going to put a tablespoon in there. I think it's plenty, maybe a little bit more. There. Now we'll mix that garlic around with it. That's looking pretty good there. We have our beef. We got 2 pounds of beef and 2 pounds of venison. You can tell which one's beef and which one's venison. All right, we'll get this in here. I'll take and mix that around real good. Meat is browned. There's 3 cans of kidney beans, 2 cans of tomatoes, diced tomatoes. Okay, forgot to turn on the camera. I put 2 teaspoons of cumin in there. Now we're going with 2 tablespoons of chili powder. Now we'll see if we can get this all mixed up and going here. Alrighty, we're going to let that cook for a while and let it come up to a simmer, or a boil and then a simmer. That's looking pretty good. Look there. Looks good. Looking good. We'll get it up to a boil here in a little bit and we'll let it simmer. As you can see, it's boiling. We're going to turn it down a little bit. Let it simmer there. And I'm going to let it simmer for about 20 or 30 minutes. We'll be back. We've been simmering about 20 minutes, and it's looking pretty good. That looks good. Okay. That looks good. Jar's heating up in the canner. Right there. I've got 8 pints in there. Hopefully this will cover that. And if I need some more, I'll go in and get some more. We'll be back when we start canning. Okay, we have our funnel, our ladle. I have my tongs, my jar tongs, lids. Got the lid to the canner right here. So we're going to get that pot of chili, set it over here, and we're going to start filling jars. Okay, we have our chili there. Let's get us a jar and start filling. Now these jars have been sitting in the canner, getting warm. Hey, now I need a paper towel. Here, we're going to put vinegar on it. Okay, now we're going to fill our jars, and we're just going to fill them up to 1 inch head space. I believe that'll do it. Okay. Now we'll debubble it. I don't really think they need it, but we're doing it anyways. We'll take our paper towel with vinegar on it, and we're going to wipe around the rim, get any oily residues off, get us a lid, place right there, get us a ring, put it on finger snug, and then we're going to put it over in the canner. Another one, do the same thing here. All right, we got us another jar. Nine pints in there, which that's awesome. That's going to work. All right, we have our jars in the canner. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 regular mouth pint jars, and I have 3 wide mouth. I couldn't remember if this thing holds 8 or 9 pints. I have 9 in there, so this is going to work. The water's kind of boiling. We're going to get the lid on there and let it start venting here. And we are going to just set it down here. I like to got to line up the marks there. Then we lock it. Now, we're going to go by this. This here is steam. It's got a vent. When we see a good steam coming out of it, we got to let it vent for 10 minutes. And then we'll place our weight on there. This is a 10-pound weight for my area. When it is pressured up, this here will pop up, and that locks the lid on. So we'll wait for it to steam, and we'll be back. It's steaming, so we're going to go for 10 minutes, let it steam. Now you notice this still hasn't popped up yet, but it's steaming. It will. It'll pop up, but as long as it's steaming, that's what we want. Get all that air out of that pot. Okay, we can see it popped up. Still is steaming. We still like a little bit before we can set our weight on there. We like about 4 minutes. All right. It's been 10 minutes. Now we're going to put the weight on there. Now when the weight goes to rocking, we're going to go for 75 minutes. That'll be 1 hour and 15 minutes. These are pint jars. If they were quart jars, we'd go for 90 minutes. Should be getting pretty close. Oh yeah, there she goes. She's starting to rock. Yes, sir. We'll let it get going pretty good there, and then we'll back it off on the heat, let it stabilize. And we've started our timer. When it's ready to turn off the fire, then we're going to let it cool down for about 10 minutes or however long it takes to get the pressure off. And then we're going to remove the lid and let it kind of set a little bit longer. All right, it's been an hour and 15 minutes. We're going to shut off the heat and we're going to let it cool down. Once it cools down, this drops, this stop rocking, this will drop. When this drops, you can take off the lid. Okay, no steam. Our lock is down. That means all the pressure is off of it. Let's see if we can open this up. And just open it away from you. That steam coming out to get you. See what they look like. Oh yeah. A plastic tub. And I got this towel, and now I'm gonna put this over. Keep the air, it's 47 degrees out here. So now I'm gonna take them inside and I'll set them in room temperature. All right, let's get these set out here. Oh, look at that chili. Hey, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, and if you're not a subscriber, I hope you consider subscribing.